Hi, welcome to live stream yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today's practice is all about arousing the internal energy systems. As always, play where you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to begin today's practice standing more or less in the middle of the mat, and you're going to give yourself a nice wide stance, a nice wide Somerset stance. Feet may be a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Stand up nice and tall. Open up the arms into a nice reaching T-frame. We're going to begin to play with a little bit of twisting and rotational movement through the trunk, giving me half a helicopter spin to one side, bending and pivoting on the back leg, and then begin to move side to side. Keep not only the fingertips long and reaching, but also keep your trunk and your crown long and reaching. Exhale as you come into the twist. Inhale to transition. The next time you find yourself twisting right, hold. Look over the back end of your mat and pause, taking a little stretch through the fingertips, through the crown, and through the toe of the back leg. Then come back into an alternating twisting motion for maybe 10 rounds. Then the next time that you find yourself twisting left, you're going to hold and reach long through the fingertips, long through the crown, long through the toe of the back leg. Find your way back to center. Keep that wide stance. We're going to think of modifying a chair and a half squat line. You're going to push back, bum to heel, stacking one hand on top of the other, and then come back to a tall stance. Every time stacking the opposite hand on top. Start to find your rhythm, and then begin to make the hands active, bearing down on the top arm and resisting with the bottom arm. As the legs start to warm up, try to bring those thighs systematically more parallel to the floor so that you start to feel a nice burning sensation in the legs. You can play with a nice active breath pattern. The next time you come into your half seat squat, hold it. Try to build up a nice little burn for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Then pull up along the quads, come back into a nice tall stance and find your way into a wide, almost V-like kneel on the floor. So you're thinking knees nice and wide and big toes coming together behind your back so that your legs almost resemble a little tripod. You're going to begin your movement with your arms nice and relaxed at your side and your chin nodded towards your chest. On an inhale, you're going to cup your bum, coming into a modified camel, giving me a nice curve through the spine. And then on an exhale, nod your chin to your chest as you restack your shoulders over your hips. You're going to begin to play dynamically. Start to find a rhythm. Nice big inhale as you curve through the back. Exhale as you nod your chin to your chest. Every time you come into that camel-like movement, look for that beautiful stretch into the tops of your thighs, into your lower belly. Think shoulder blades coming together, chest opening up generously. time you find yourself coming into the back bend, hold it. Maybe you're cupping the bum. Maybe you're supporting the lower back. Maybe you're fisting your hands behind your back and dropping your knuckles heavy to the floor while you hold that wide camel-like back bend. Then uncouple your arms and find your way to a seat on the mat. You're going to think staff-like legs, so legs are long and reaching. Then bend them, round the feet, and drop down onto the elbows. Let's keep the left leg bent while actively bearing off the forearm so we're not collapsing down into the mat. We're going to extend the right leg and we'll start with a soft reaching toe line. Start to give me 10 little lift and lower actions, trying to keep the leg hovering just off the floor. Then change your foot position and start to come into an active brace for a further 10. End in the lift and hold. Then let's change legs. Grounding the right leg and extending the left, we're going to shoot for 10 soft reaching toe line lifts. Lifting the leg more or less in line with your grounding knee and then back to hovering. Then change your leg line. Start to work with an active brace, almost as if you were trying to send energy out through the heel of your foot. Then find your way from here onto the back. We're coming into some working bridge lines. Relax onto the mat. Arms are heavy at your side. We're going to find some dynamic bridges. So not looking to hold the bridge, but use it to limber up through the spine and wake up those internal energies. Rouse up some energy. Begin in neutral pelvis and neutral spine. Use a small 12 o'clock tilt to begin peeling your back line off the mat. At the apex of your bridge, take a little stretch into your belly and the tops of your thighs, and then start to hollow out your belly, round out your back before retilting into neutral. You're going to keep the bridge line flowing, making sure that you're keeping your feet and your knees in parallel, almost as if you had an elastic band around the knees, keeping them in position. Keep your chin relaxed towards your chest and don't look to the side of the room. Peeling up and down through the bridge and just giving a nice little stretch at the top of your bridge. Look for the belly, look for the top of your thighs, and then roll right back down. Find your rhythm. Keep the arms and the shoulders nice and heavy into the mat. Keep those feet fully rooted and keep those inner thighs switched on, almost as if you had a yoga block, or you could think small soccer ball between the two knees to make sure that those legs stay actively pressing in towards the center line. Then the next time you find yourself coming into the bridge, we're going to hold it and you can pick the bridge line that works for you. Maybe you're just keeping those arms heavy into the mat. Maybe you walking the shoulders together, interlacing the hands, fisting the hands, and almost pressing off your fists and your triceps. Or maybe you'd like to bend the arms, make a little L frame between the index finger and the thumb, and then tuck that brace underneath the waist. Find the variant of Bada Setu Banda, bound bridge preferably, that works for you, or you could just keep it an open bridge, hands to floor. Pause here, looking for that little bit of compression into the throat of the chest center. Waking up your metabolism, arousing it for the day. Look for that stretch into the top of thighs, into the belly center. Then if you were bound, you're going to undo the arms, relax them like two spaghetti strings on the mat, and gently peel your way down to the mat. As soon as you arrive back on the mat, bend your knees, place your hands palms down on the knees, float the feet off the mat, and begin to use the knees independently of each other to trace two big circles away from the center line and back towards the center line. Give yourself a few rounds tracing in one direction, and then change it up and begin to trace that release in the other direction. Not only working a little release into the lower back, but also warming up into the groin and the pelvic area. We're going to come into some spinal rolls from here, and once you've found the roll, you might elect to play just a little bit. So maybe beginning by just hugging onto your knees or your shins, or you could hold onto the back of your thighs. Start to find that little hollow back, hollow belly, rounded back. And if the roll starts to feel good, maybe you can change it up slightly by crossing at the ankles, holding onto your feet as you rock up and down, almost tucking the feet underneath you and leaning the weight of your body forward every time you come into a seat. Give yourself a good 10 to 15 rolls, maybe more. Make sure that you're working with a rounded back and only rolling as far as your shoulder blades, and then back up. We're going to find our way from here onto the knees, unravel the legs, and come to a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat. Once you've found your 4-point kneeling frame on the mat, tuck your toes under and let's start to work between a knee tap and a down dog. Exhale for the down dog. Inhale as you lightly graze your knees to the mat. Make sure that you've activated your core. So you're thinking belly to spine as those knees come down, and you're literally just lightly grazing the top of the mat. So lots of core control. Inhale for the tapping knees. Exhale for the down dog. Every time you find the down dog, see if you can bring the heels of your feet progressively closer to the mat and really start to open up and stretch the back chain of your legs. We're going to end in the down dog frame. Hold the stretch, really trying to anchor through the feet as best you can. Think nice little triangular frame between the arms and the legs, almost floating your head through as if you were trying to tap nose to knee. Nice pike position through the bum, belly button pulled into center. And then relax back down to your 4-point kneeling frame on the mat. You can relax those feet to the mat and parallel behind you. We're going to come to some working cat cows. Check your 4-point kneeling frame and find a neutral spine first. So a long line through the neck and the spine. And when you're ready, start to play below and above that line. Start first with an inhale, finding that curve through the spine as you come into your cow. And then exhale to round out above table in cat. Start to play at the inhalation and exhalation ratio that's working for you today. Maybe you're favoring a 1-to-1 ratio, so you're holding both frames equally, or maybe you find that you need to hold either the cat or the cow a little bit longer, so you could start to play at a 1-to-2 or a 2-to-1 ratio, favoring one of the poses. Let's end in the cat frame and hold. Maybe for a soft count of 10, looking once more for that little bit of compression into the throat center as you nod your chin to your chest. And then ease your way back into a neutral line. Extend the left leg out as far as it will go. Extend the right arm out as far as it will go and rotate the hand palm in. Start to float your extended limbs into a long tabletop reach. And then let's start to play with a working bird dog. On the exhale, find a core contraction, drawing the floating two limbs towards the center line, and then inhale to reach. Exhale to round out, thinking knee to elbow. Inhale to tap the wall in front and the wall behind. Maybe starting to play with more of an active breath. End in the contraction and hold for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Come back to your 4-point kneeling frame and take a little lizard step out on the left side, splaying the foot softly out. We're going to make the lizard dynamic. Relax the back foot first. So if you're thinking top of the foot, relax to the mat. You're going to lean forward into your lizard, keeping that front foot stayed out at 45. Then you're going to give me a hamstring stretch on the lead leg by tucking the toes under of the back foot and starting to sit back bum to heel. Start to play dynamically with your forward lean and your backward lean. And you can pick the hand position on the mat that works for you. Maybe you're doing hands staying flat the whole time. Maybe you're alternating between a flat hand and high spider fingertips. You're going to give yourself a few dynamic rounds flowing through the lizard and the little monkey god seat, the little hamstring stretch. Really try to open up that tight kink behind the left knee. Let's end in the seat and hold. Really looking for that delicious stretch behind each toe on the back foot into the arch of your foot. Then ease your way back into your little lizard stretch forward. Hold it. We're going to use this lizard line to find our way into a working horse line. So you can keep that left foot where it is. You can maybe come onto the tips of your fingers, step up the back leg, try to replicate the line, and then peel up, placing your hands either on your hips or on tops of your thighs or on your hips as we start to play. Begin in neutral, keeping that little wide horse line. We're going to use some pelvic tilts. Taking S curve through the spine, then getting rid of that S by tilting the pelvis in towards the belly button line. And you're going to give yourself at least 10 to 15 little tilts, looking for that nice little burn into the tops of your thighs. Maybe you're playing with a nice active breath. Let's end in the tilt. Hold it. Keep the tilt and start to heel toe your feet back into a parallel line. Standing up nice and tall, keeping that 12 o'clock tilt through the pelvis. Place your right hand on your chest, overlay the left arm over on top, and just give yourself a little breather. Standing up nice and tall in a modified mountain. Feet active, inner thighs switched on, 12 o'clock tilt in place. Long line through the body, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, all in one long stack. We're going to find our way into a warrior two line from here, right leg leading. So take a big breath in, you can soften the knees, take a lunge step back on the left. You can wiggle walk that right foot out surreptitiously as you come into the line. Reach for the wall in front, reach for the wall behind, and try to equalize your body weight as you settle into your strengthening warrior two. So long and strong, not only through the arms and the legs, but also through the spine and the crown, with your gaze steady over your front forefinger. Then let's translate our warrior into a side angle by starting to relax the lead elbow down to the lead thigh. Bring the back arm nice and close to your ear and pause here in the stretch, looking for that line through the back leg, through the line of the ribs, through the line of your overhead arm. Look for the stretch. Try to hold the weight in your body, the weight of your body in your core. Now lean everything into that lead leg. We're going to translate this triangle line, this open side angle into an open triangle by starting to float the top arm up to 90. Begin to extend the front leg, either relaxing your hand on your shin, or you could think hand pressing on the inseam of your leg, or you could do fingers or palm to floor, depending on where you'd like to play. Keep both of those thighs active, so you're actively pulling up along the quads on both legs. You're looking for a long reach through the arms, through the legs. Then begin to soften the lead leg, start to rotate. Frame both hands either side the lead leg. Relax the back knee, shin, and foot to the floor. Start to walk up into a low lunge. Maybe you're pressing off the top thigh and holding here, looking for that little stretch into the back hip flexor. Maybe you've got the core strength to hold the frame and just float your hands overhead. Thinking long reaching crescent lunge, Anyanya Asana, with your hands open and receptive to the sky. Breathe. Look for that stretch into the lower belly, that delicious lengthening through the crown. Maybe you can give a slight crescent shape to the back, so you're thinking slightly hollow back. Then start to take a bow here, and let's see if you can walk your way back. You could either put a cushion on the inside of your back leg, or you can sit back, bum to heel here. We're going to take a little stretch. Maybe you're just doing hands to floor. Maybe you can drop down onto the forearms. Maybe you can reach for your toes. You're going to hold it for about 20 seconds here, just holding the seat. Breathing nice and deeply into the back line. So don't just think lower back, but start to extend that breath from the lower back, allow it to bleed up towards the shoulder blades, almost starting to wrap around the back and the sides of your ribs on every inhale. Front leg long and extended, trying to iron out that little kink behind the right knee. Holding your modified Janusirsasana head to knee stretch. Then peel up. We're going to sit left, so you're going to fall off your foot, falling left, and we're going to come into a little half Lord seat here. You're going to cross the right foot over the left knee. You're going to twist towards it. Maybe you're just grabbing opposite hand to knee, or maybe you're hooking your elbow to the outside of the knee, or you could work with an extended front arm. Try to sit both of your bum bones into the mat. Try to have the weight equal on the left and the right side of the spine as you come into your nice little seated twist. Great for toning up the lower abdominal area. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half lord of the fishes. Hold your twist. Really wringing out those lower organs. And then think about how you can use the current cross of your legs to find your way back into a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat. Begin to untwist your trunk, sweep the front leg back, coming back into your 4-point kneeling frame on the mat, and find your way back into a working cat-cow. Picking your breath ratio, it could be 1-1, 2-1, or 1-2. So you could be favoring one of the poses, or you could be giving them equal play. Inhale for the cow, exhale for the cat. End in the cat stretch and hold it. Thinking hollow belly, rounded back. Feel the back of your rib cage. Then ease your way back into a neutral line. Extend the right leg out as far as it will go. And extend the left arm out as far as it will go, rotating the hand palm in. Float the two limbs up to table. And then on an exhale, start to play with that cat frame and think knee to elbow. Exhaling as the knee and the elbow draw in. Inhaling as you come back into extension to reach for the wall in front and the wall behind. Maybe starting to play with a nice audible breath. We're going to end in the contraction. Think knee to elbow and hold for 10. Then come back to your 4-point kneeling frame. Keep your back leg relaxed. Find a little lizard step out on the right, splaying the foot softly out at 45. Looking for that little lean forward. Opening up the groin area on the right. And then let's start to play. Tuck the toes of the back foot under. Sit back, bum to heel, starting to extend the front leg. And then begin to oscillate, dropping the foot every time you come into the lizard. So back foot drops, and then tucking the toe under as you come into the hamstring stretch. So you're not only working the front leg when you're in the monkey god seat, but you're also working and turning the back foot, ankle, and the glute and the quad on the back leg. Start to find a working rhythm between the two. Favoring where you need to. So maybe you need to favor the lizard. Maybe you need to favor the monkey god seat. So just see where you're needing that work. And pick the hand position on the mat that works for you. Maybe you're alternating with a flat hand and spider fingertips. Maybe you're keeping the flat hand or the spider fingertips, and just see what works for you. We're going to end in that little monkey god seat, and you're going to hold it. Then find your way back into your lizard. Pause here. We're going to replicate the line on the left, and we're going to find our way into a modified horse stance. So leading up, keeping that slight squat line, you're going to begin tilting through the pelvis. Either hands resting on your thighs, or you can place them on your hip creases. Holding the midway squat, starting to tilt through the pelvis as you play. And in the tilt, hold it and start to heel toe your feet in, coming back into a parallel stance on the mat. Placing your left hand on your heart, overlaying the right hand on top, and just pausing in a nice tall mountain stand. Feeling that thump, thump, thump of your heart. We're going to find our way from here into a nice, strong warrior two stance on the mat. So when you're ready, you're going to soften the knees. You're going to take a lunge step back, opening up the back foot to 90. You're going to windmill the arms up. You're going to start to wiggle walk your legs further apart and start to look for that strength within your warrior frame. Check the weight on the pelvis. So try not to favor the lead or the back leg. Try to even out that weight distribution. Keep those arms long and reaching. Keep your crown long and reaching. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Then let's find our way from here into a side angle. Start to relax the lead elbow to the lead thigh without leaning all of the weight into the thigh. So hold the weight in your core, and you can bring that top arm closer to your ear. Look for the stretch. Hold it. Breathe. Nice anchor through that back leg. Then change your extended side angle into a triangle by starting to straighten up the top arm. So think 90 position. Start to straighten up the lead leg, dropping your hand either to your shin or finding purchase on the inseam of your leg, or you could do fingertips or palms to floor. Hold your open triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. Activate the quads on both legs, so both legs drawing up towards the pelvis. Breathe. We're going to ease our way from our triangle into a low crescent lunge. So when you're ready, start to bend the lead leg. Start to pivot on the back foot. Frame the lead leg, tuck the back toe under, relax the foot. Start to bleed up. Maybe you're pressing off that top thigh and holding here. Or maybe you can reach for the sky and find that beautiful crescent frame through your back. Open up through your chest center, your throat center, your third eye, your crown. Then paint the mat with your hands and take a little seat back. We're going to think a little half. We're going to think of just finding our way into a gentle sit back. So you could do bum to foot on the back foot, wrapping your bum cheeks around the foot, or maybe you're using a cushion to support your butt on the left. And when you're ready, give me a little fold here. Just pause here for maybe 20 to 30 seconds, breathing nice and deeply into the back and the sides of your ribs. Try to iron out that tight kink behind the lead leg. Think of where that breath is going. Start the breath in your lower back. Allow it to bleed towards your shoulder line. Then maybe start to wrap around the sides of your ribs. Then sit up nice and tall. Start to drop your weight right. As the foot comes in, just rearrange it on the foot so that you can ground both of your bum bones. You're going to cross the left leg over the right knee and you're going to twist towards your lead leg, grabbing opposite hand to knee, or you could hook the elbow on the outside of your knee, or you could do an extended arm line. Drape yourself in your twist and start to look for length through the spine, trying to keep both of those bum bones connected to the mat as you find your way into half lord of the fishes. Giving yourself a few quiet moments here in your twisted seat. Then unravel your trunk, rearrange your feet, and maybe just take a scooch to the middle of the mat so that you've got a runway for your ending position on the mat. We're going to come into Sukhasana, easy sit, and you're just going to sit up nice and tall with the left leg in front of the right. Sit up nice and tall, take a moment to wiggle around and make sure both of your bum bones are equally weighted onto the mat. Then we're going to twist towards the lead leg. We're going to push opposite hand to knee, maintaining that tall sit with both of our bum bones equally weighted into the mat. So you're not favoring left as you come into the twist. Hold that tall seat. Maybe you're peeking over the back shoulder. Then untwist your trunk and bring the soles of your feet together, coming into a butterfly line. You can wiggle, walk your bum closer towards your feet. And then settle into your butterfly, trying to press the soles of the feet softly together, trying to make the knees as heavy as you can to the floor. And don't judge yourself. So if those knees are not dropping anywhere near the floor today, that's okay. Remember, your body is different day to day. Then let's find our way back into Sukhasana, this time right leg in front of left. Sit up nice and tall, take a moment to wiggle around on your bum and then settle into the seat, distributing your body weight. Keep that distribution of the body weight as you twist right, opposite hand to knee. Press the inner thigh or the knee away and just focus on that beautiful opening on the right side into the groin area. Untwist your trunk and find your way back into your butterfly line. Soles of the feet coming together. Wiggle, walk your bum closer towards your feet and then hold. almost thinking of replicating a crescent frame through the back. So you're thinking slightly hollow back, focusing more on opening the chest center as you hold your butterfly line, Baddha Konasana. Then unravel your legs and find your way into a straddle line. That straddle can be as narrow or as wide as you're comfortable with. Take a moment here to just find your seat on the mat. And then bring yourself into a gentle folding motion, keeping those toes active and looking towards the sky. Maybe you're just walking the hands slightly forward and holding the stretch here. Maybe you're doing palms to floor. You could do elbows to floor. You could float the forearms wide, stack your hands and just take a little rest here. Or maybe you want to take a bolster or a block or two, place it on the mat in front and find a lean-in position that works for you. Just pause here, take a couple of nice delicious breaths here, breathing nice and deeply into the back. And we're going to hang here for a bit, looking for that beautiful opening into the groin area. Keep the feet and the inner thighs active. Every time you find more opening, try to bring that chest a little bit closer to the floor. Then maybe walking your way gently back to a butterfly line. Maybe wrapping around the toes or the ankles and sinking knees to floor, sitting up nice and tall. You could even do a supported butterfly against a wall or a piece of furniture if you like. And then while you're in your butterfly line, decide on how you'd like to end your practice today. Maybe you'd like to end in a seat of your choice, or maybe you'd like to bring it down onto the back, maybe even placing a pillow underneath your head as we bring it into a little relaxing nidra visualization exercise. Pick what works for you. Close your eyes, take your focus inward, and try to visualize the scene that I'm going to set for you. You're out walking in a quaint, lush garden that contains a labyrinth fashioned from high hedges. After many frustrating wrong turns, you find your way to the middle of the labyrinth. Lying down on the large flat stone bench for a breather, and then promptly falling fast asleep. After a delicious 40 winks, you awaken and find that there's a thunderstorm brewing. See and feel a jolt of lightning hit your right big toe, tingling as it makes its way up the right side of your body. Feel that tingling energy run up from your big toe along the right side of your foot, ankle, leg, through the line of the hip, the trunk, down the right arm, all the way to each little finger, from the right arm, cresting, coming over the crown of your head to peel down the right side, the left side of your neck, down through the left arm to each finger, from the left arm, beautifully sliding down the left side of your trunk, through the hip, through the line of the leg, all the way to your left big toe. When it reaches your left big toe, see it taking a little jump back to your right big toe and starting to circulate through your body in a never-ending daisy chain of electric energy, stirring and arousing hidden internal treasures of energy, leaving you feeling invigorated, like a battery recharged. Keep thinking of that daisy chain of energy flowing throughout your body, from the right to the left side, from the right to the left side, circulating, arousing those energies hidden within. With that thought floating through your head, floating through your mind, you can bring your hands together in prayer mudra, whether you're seated or lying on the back. Start to gently but actively press into the palms so that you're almost reinforcing the thought of that little electric current running through your body. Visualize it, see it, become one with it. Allow that energy to arouse within and to feed you for the remainder of today. Namaste to you. Thank you so much for coming out and joining me today. I do hope that you enjoyed today's practice. Till next time, keep it light.